Hey guys, welcome back now to the third and final game of this, the Gary Kimmelman Cup. It's a LAN final held in Vietnam, which is pretty awesome, at the PlayDota Arena, I believe it's called. So it's just a Dota-specific LAN arena, which is pretty awesome. They're fighting for a prize pool of about $400, but we've seen some very high... I feel like some very talented plays coming out from these two teams. I'm Zambrella, joined by Big Tits McGee. And similar draft now for game number 3.
Yeah, there's a lot of priority placed on mainly Slardar and Void, but both teams have first picked those heroes in all 3 games so far. And we're seeing the Clinks again after the dominant performance he had last game. I think that warrants picking him up.
Yeah, it's I guess, like, you know, it's kind of like a niche pickup, right? And you've played on teams and in tournaments and stuff. Like, when something works like this, do you pick it up? Do you really want to pick it up again? Like, the team's going to be expecting it, the other team's going to be expecting it this time, or do you just say it works so well? We're just
it's a dangerous boat to fall into, drafting the same thing again, because generally whenever I've played in tournaments, you know, you get beaten by something, and you have that 10-minute break in between games where you sit down and you look at the game and think, why did we lose that game? And you kind of mentally prepare for dealing with that playstyle or that hero again. And they've not first banned the Clinks, so they're obviously thinking, they obviously have a plan of dealing with it. Because you see some pro teams, Complexity were a good example of this when they, you know, a couple of months ago, they kind of only really had one playstyle. And it's the same with No Diggity at the moment, is they have one playstyle and they do well with it, but they keep doing it, and eventually teams cotton onto it and and have a way of dealing with it. So I think it's quite. I think it might be okay, because, you know, they've only. I don't know how the rest of the tournament went, but they've only played against the Clinks once, so it could work out.
Yeah. So if you're playing against No Diggity, just don't kill Cinderin. That's how you win.
Yeah, they win from feeding.
I've genuinely been thinking about this, right?
In the world, and his playstyle, that's why everyone knows him as Die Die Die, was because his playstyle was to literally just run around the map feeding, but in a tactical way, and he basically just became this mobile ward. And you'd see him do all these weird plays where he'd buy 2 observers, buy a smoke, and just run at the enemy jungle.
He's worth like nothing.
Back in the old days of Cloud9, Pylai Dai was considered one of the best supports in the world, and his playstyle, that's why everyone knows him as Die Die Die, was because his playstyle was to literally just run around the map feeding, but in a tactical way, and he basically just became this mobile ward. And you'd see him do all these weird plays where he'd buy 2 observers, buy a smoke, and just run at the enemy jungle, get 2 wards down and die. But the rest of his team were just free farming, because the other team were just running after this, you know, P5 Venge that was just feeding in the jungle. And then you have 4 heroes on the rest of the map just free farming.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily a playstyle to work towards, but I mean, it does work. You see teams who have this, like, yeah, Cinderin's a good example of it. You just create space.
Be interesting to see if any other teams adopt that, but yeah, I just find that very interesting, and whether it's viable. But so some different pickups now in the second phase. We've seen these Slardar faces Void and Clinks before. Dragon Knight, I think, worked very well for CGC in game number 1.
Yeah, it's again, they just had no way of killing him. They didn't really have the damage. Hopefully, he can get the same. I mean, he should have a good mid lane at the moment. IM.911's drafts again quite left field again. I mean, they've got their 3 cores, Void, Clinks, and Axe, but unsure again of the lanes.
Yeah, and neither the Axe doesn't really synergize with the Faceless Void that well. I mean,
yeah,
you follow up after the Chrono to get the final call off, or get some Culling Blades going, or vice versa. Axe jumps in, gets a couple of people in the call, and then you follow up with the Chronosphere, but then Axe is stuck inside it.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously have a plan for what they're doing. You don't just pick heroes because you feel like picking them. But it seems it seems like a bit of an odd pick. Yeah, we're seeing the Beastmaster ban in the second phase from IM.911, which I think was a smart choice because even though they lost last game, Beastmaster was just so strong.
Yep. And this Dragon Knight gonna be seeing that mid lane. Spirit Breaker once again gonna have a tricky time focusing this guy. Where's that Phoenix? I don't remember seeing it picked, or but well, it definitely hasn't been picked. I don't remember seeing it banned.
I think Phoenix is a really strong hero, but it's a hero that's quite like specific to certain scenes. Like some scenes have more priority over it because, like, I mean, China's been playing it for 6+ months now and absolutely dominating with it. But it's only really been coming into the like European meta in the last month or so. So I mean, maybe just these teams don't play it, don't feel comfortable with it. I think it would be a really good pick now for IM.911.
Oh yeah.
It absolutely eats through DK.
And when Morphling starts strengthening up as well,
yeah,
lots of extra damage. But no, they're going to go for the Shadow Shaman once again. I think they might have missed a trick here, but if you don't have a player that's comfortable on it, or you're not used to playing with that hero, then you're better off just sticking to what you're comfortable with. And this Morphling, I guess, pretty good against the Axe if you think about it. You get cooled, you can just Strength Morph, and you just can never get that Culling Blade off because you've got too much HP.
Yeah, I think the Morphling, it could be a good... I think this game is going to go one of either ways for this Morphling. I think he's either going to completely dominate or get completely just plowed, really. If Clinks goes for the Orchid Rush again, same as last game, and, gets that at a similar time as last game, 14, 16 minutes, this Morphling could really struggle. But I mean, if he gets left alone and Clinks gets shut down, this Morphling could really take control of this game. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they can do with this Morphling, really.
Yep. So if you just joined us, guys, this is the third and final game of the Gary Kimmelman Cup, and it's the finals. Chance to win yourselves about $200. Should be an exciting one. And I think, from the get-go, we're looking at these drafts and fairly even all around. Especially considering IM's Link's last game was very solid.
Yeah, I think with nearly all the drafts we've seen and all the games we've seen, both teams are working off kind of momentum-based lineups. And whichever team wins that laning stage and makes the impact with their first set of items, really just kind of gets a chokehold on the game. And I think this game will be the same. If Clinks can get the quick Orchid up and Axe can get a nicely timed blink, and they can kind of just run at the Dire and take control of them. But on the flip side, if this DK gets left alone and Morphling gets left alone, Slardar can get a quick blink up and they can kind of roll with that advantage. So,
indeed. So who's actually going to go mid here for IM? I guess we saw Clinks. Wait, Clinks was in the safe lane last time, right?
Yeah, I think in this game you definitely want to put the Clinks safe lane because he just completely rolls over a Slardar. Slardar will get nothing off the lane. Clinks will get free farm. I think an Axe mid is probably the best call in this game.
Yeah, put that up against the DK.
Yeah, with the change to Axe and the pure damage, it kind of Axe demolishes 1v1 against melees because as soon as they go into range to...
Yeah, let's have a little look. We can have a look at the items picked up. It does look like the Axe is going to go mid here. He's picked up a PMS. A bit of extra armor there. Extra damage block as well. Going with the Fairy Fire as well. And, yeah, pulled a couple of tangos as well. I was waiting for that. I was like, maybe he wants to go with even just a little bit of regen would be a good idea. Yeah, heading towards that mid lane. It's going to be the off lane Faces Void. This is the Radiant side. IM.911. Yeah, that's safe lane Clinks as well. For now, it looks like Shadow Shaman might be heading up with the Faces Void. Like you said, that Clink's probably feeling very comfortable going up against an off-lane Slardar. Doesn't need too much support. Spirit Breaker can just start roaming around as well.
I might miss... Oh, okay, yeah, I was just clicked on the Slardar and saw him with a Sentry Ward and no gold.
Yeah.
He's
on the courier.
Yeah.
Did get himself down a nice observer ward, so that'll at least make his lane, well, at least should make himself feel...
Yeah, I was just clicked on the slider and saw him with a sentry ward and no gold.
Yeah,
He's
on the courier.
Yeah.
Did get himself down a nice observer ward, so that'll at least make his lane, well, at least should make himself feel a little safer in lane.
Yeah, I think this is potentially something that could have been avoided by IM.911, is if they had the chance in between games to quickly go and watch the start of the game back, which is something you normally do in tournaments, because you can usually pick up warding patterns for the start of the game anyway. The slot, they've placed this offlane ward in every single game. TP down there. So they maybe could have scouted that, but you know, maybe didn't have time. Games have been rapid.
Very efficient. But that's
every tournament I've played in, you've been able to essentially watch the entire game back before the next one starts.
Or Lion, he wants to get the observer ward down. He does do so successfully. But I'm pretty sure this means the Faceless Voids. What was he doing here? In fact, he did see it anyway, thanks to the observer ward. Sentry ward gets put down, blocks up this camp as well. That also should have been spotted out.
Yeah, it's whether I don't know whether they have the sentry wards available to deal with that though. So we're seeing one down on the Raster at bot, and the other one's on the Axe mid.
Speaking of Raster, Slala, he gets caught up here with the shackles, but it's only the Spirit Breaker. Did have Bash leveled up, but didn't get any lucky procs, at least not when we were looking. And I'm most curious about this mid lane, how it's going to work out in the end. Because I guess it's a fine balance for Axe, because he doesn't want to push the lane too much, because DK is probably okay tanking the quick wave onto tower and should be able to get most of the CS under the tower. But however, he doesn't want to, like, you know, he still wants to be able to apply pressure.
Yeah, I think this mid lane will probably end up just being quite an even farm trade. With the Axe just harassing the DK and pushing tower and the wave under his tower. And then DK will just farm up there.
I wonder if, like, do you max start, like, putting a lot more levels in Battle Hunger? Normally you see maybe one, potentially two, but never more than that. Maybe just being in this mid lane, I'm sure he'll probably end up going for a bottle, I would guess?
Yeah, I think you're going to because you can push out the wave really easily, and spamming Battle Hunger is going to be really useful.
Yeah, he gets the call off. Axe trying to go for some spins here, does get them off. DK just a little bit too tanky, but that's a lot of damage done. But DK finally got that bottle up and ready. I wonder if he'll bring the courier back and do some bottle crowing. That's exactly what he's going to do. Bottom rune going to be grabbed by the Spirit Breaker and Axe. He can just sort of mosey on up to that top lane. Ooh, it's a regen rune down in this bottom lane. I think Axe will be very happy picking that one up. Oh, okay. It's going to go the way of the Spirit Breaker, and it is indeed... No, it's just a salve for the Axe for now. One on the courier. I just really want to watch this lane. Yeah, once again, another call comes out, surrounded by creeps. It's forcing this DK out of lane. 12 CS versus the 9. So, not dominating just yet, but we could see this start spiraling out of control.
I think if they can get a charge onto the DK when he's slightly out of position or in a creep wave and combo that with the cool, they should be able to kill him. Once Axe gets, you know, a couple more levels and gets a bit tankier. Because they can look to dive tower with a Spirit Breaker and Axe quite easily.
Very tanky heroes. Meanwhile, Spirit Breaker is just going to spot this Slardar, trying to grab what CS he can from the camp. So yeah, Slardar's going to pick up the Quelling Blades and probably build that into an Iron Talon, realizing he just can't stick around in lane. What this Clink's pretty much free farming away, up to 17 CS. The Morphling up in this top lane. They get the Hex on the Faceless Void. They need to burst him down. The Silence comes out just in time, and Morphling gets the first blood. Well comboed up here from the 3 heroes in the top lane, preventing Faceless Void from getting that time walk off. And he's been stuck here at level 1, and we're 3.5 minutes in.
Yeah, he even burned his salve as well during that, so it's really quite unfortunate for the Void, having quite a tough laning stage. It's a really scary tri lane to deal with as a Void.
Enough lockdown throughout the duration, like sort of, well, I say lockdown throughout the duration, lockdown enough to be able to kill him off before he can get that time walk off.
Yeah, I mean, they essentially have 4 ways of stopping him time walk on this lane, 2 on each support, so
I mean, that's
hard for him to deal with.
That adds up to a total of, what's that, 1 second, 2.5. So that's 3.5 seconds already. Plus another 1. Almost like,
yeah, it's about 6
seconds.
6 seconds. Yeah. And as again, because they've blocked this side camp, yeah, he can't even go back to that to farm up. So he's really struggling here. And he opted for the PMS as well, so he can't get the Iron Talon and just go to jungle.
Very unfortunate for him. I mean, he is, on the other hand, locking this line and the Spirit up in this top lane, but they've been able to get some experience, get some last hits onto the neutral creeps without stopping this Morphling farming, so they've got the levels, so maybe, yeah, they're not able to rotate, but ganking an Axe is not really going to happen anyway.
Yeah, I think killing the Axe is very difficult for them.
This Axe continues to just stay ahead in this lane.
Both carries are farming up really nicely though. Both sitting on 32 and 33 CS. It's really good for them. Just have to be careful about. I think this game, the game's going to be decided around probably the kind of 15-minute mark-ish, maybe between 15 and 20. Because if Klinks has the same kind of farm he had last game, he's just going to dominate. Because he'll get his Orchid, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 minutes before the Morph has his Lincoln.
Look at Axe, he gets aggressive with the illusion runes, just spin, spin, spin. The kick comes through, catches out 2, the Earth Spike as well, to try and save this DK. They want to continue diving onto the tower. Axe needs to try and get the de-aggro, and he's gonna, well, get the kill before he needs to do that, so he's fine. On 100 HP, bottling up as well, Fairy Fire to make sure they're looking for the second Doug. Should be able to fight it. There we go. Gets it. Extra move speed for him and his allies. Gets himself out of there. Slarla gets the crush on the Spirit Breaker. The Rolling Boulder gonna come through. Gets in front of him. The body blocks onto the Spirit Breaker. He's going for the bash. He needs one more to try and catch out this Slarla. Slarla salves up, goes for the crush, and they get their kill. Spirit Breaker. Praying to RNG, but still. A good trade there. They get a, was it 2 kills for the Axe there? 2 done.
Yeah, and that really gets the ball rolling for him now. He was already dominating his mid lane, and now he's, got this double kill.
Another charge is coming through. The call, it catches them out. There's a bunch of creeps going for more spins. The shackles come in. They land, hoping for some more. The stun does come out just in time, but the charge is still there. Dragonite bottling himself up, trying to keep himself healthy. He's got a salve as well, plus an infused raindrops, helping him out against that magic damage that Ether Shock offers. I guess it doesn't interact in an interesting way with Culling Blade.
No, Culling Blade's a kill command.
That would be kind of broken, I think. Infused raindrops against Axe.
It will work if he culls you and he's not within kill threshold. It'll reduce damage, but
yeah, that's true. It's kind of like no damage anyway, so
yeah.
What ifs? And this Earth Spirit is kind of being delegated to look after this Dragon Knight at the moment, it seems. Faces Void. Oh, he bought out.
Okay.
It was on purpose, don't worry. It was a tactical suicide. So 8 minutes in, 4 kills, 2 apiece. Fairly quiet-ish game. This Axe looks to continue to dominate this mid lane. It's going to be a Vanguard for him, I think. Yeah? Picking up the Vit booster before the blink.
Yeah, I think if you run Axe as more of a core than the pub jungling Axe, you want to rush the Vanguard.
Yep. You can really sit the front lines there. An extra HP just hangs him up. The regen is very nice as well. And yeah, it doesn't he just farms so well anyway in the jungle, in the lane. He'll get that Blink Dagger up in a few minutes after the Vanguard anyway. You kind of got to wait for the rest of your team to be able to catch up with you anyway. So if you go for the early, super early Blink Dagger, I guess you start rotating these other lanes and you don't have your supports with level 6. You don't have, the extra bit of damage maybe you'd like.
Yeah, I think if he had have just gone for the Blink now, I don't think he would have. He would be able to do that much with it. So I think going for the Vanguard first is a smart choice.
Yep. Faceless Void still having a bit of a trouble up in this top lane. Not even found that level 4, whereas Slardar on the other lane has got level 5. I mean, yeah, Faces Void, he'll probably catch up eventually. He just needs to get a Chrono off when he gets level 6. His Axe continues. He's just going to creep skip and roll away from us. But 2 heroes just playing so scared from this Axe.
Yeah, I think this is why the Vanguard just makes so much sense. Is he can just do whatever he wants now. And I don't think they can do anything to deal with him, really.
Yeah, he gets himself the tower as well. So, like I said, you know, he's got the Vanguard. He's already up to 1100 HP. Halfway to HP gold, halfway towards that Blink Dagger already. They're rotating so many heroes down. There's 3 heroes trying to surround this Axe. Make it 4 as this last TP come in. It's gonna be 5. They want to bring down this Axe, but he's just gonna run away. They're focusing instead on the Shadow Shaman. They commit a lot just for a Shadow Shaman here.
Yeah, I think that's. If anything, I don't actually think that's worth it for CGC, especially having rotated the Morphling across.
I think it's going to mix it up now, though. Just for the Midas.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure about the Midas pickup on him because if you were playing the Clinks this game, you know, he obviously likes to buy the Orchid because he went for it last game. I would assume your thought process would be, I'm going to get a fast Orchid and then just kill that Morphling over and over again. But now with the Midas pickup and the fact that they've essentially let Morph free farm, Morph will have a Lincolns before Clinks has his Orchid if he's going to go for that, or Deso.
Maybe he is just going to go for the Deso now as Morphling does get shackled up. The Crush coming in from the Slardar. Faces Void still doesn't have the Chrono, but the rotation in from Axe chasing after the Slardar, who is slowed down a lot, stunned up as well. Don't even need, they're going to commit the call just to make sure. There's the dunk. Killing spree for Axe. He's got 3 kills now. He's just going to tank up this tower and the creep wave. And hopefully just get some more gold and more map space for his team. He gets himself another illusion rune as well. The charge comes forward. They see the Lion. They're chasing after the Morphling as well. Doesn't have that waveform. Probably too hard to catch out here. Still good by catching 4 heroes effectively.
Yeah, Axe is one of the few heroes that an illusion rune is actually quite useful on.
Gets deleted by the Lion though with the Hex and the Mana Drones. Either way, they get the top tower, so more gold for the rest of the team. As Clinks does the same thing in the bottom lane.
Yeah, this Clinks has been given a lot of space.
1500 on top of that Midas now.
Oh,
they're
and
chasing
Axe
up.
stealing a stack.
Ooh, oh, lovely. But Clinks, meanwhile, he's going to be fine, actually. Sees the Slardar and just legs himself out of there. So good when you're an Axe. You're like, thank you, enemy team.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got his blink now. He's just ridiculously farmed.
And the funny thing is, Clinks has actually got more net worth than him.
Yeah, this is now scary, like really scary for CGC.
They've got 5k net worth lead, 12 minutes in. That's a significant amount, and this Axe is going to try and make use of this Blink Dagger. Got to worry about the kick coming in from the Earth Spirit. And there's Slardar sitting on the back lines as well as a Lion. Got to be patient, farm up the jungle, wait for that perfect opening. Still 4 dire heroes sitting in this mid lane, protecting this Dragon Knight, who is not going to have the fastest time armlet in the world. Or with, 58 CS, 59 CS, I guess, isn't that bad. Died once, got 1 kill. Could be worse, actually.
The thing is Dragon Knight. I mean, in a normal game of Dota, the Dragon Knight's farm's not particularly bad. It's just there's 2 cores on the Radiant that just have so much farm that he looks like relatively he looks underfarmed.
So Clinks is going to go for that Orchid, who already picked up the Oblivion stuff after that Midas choice. And he's going to look to wrap around, try and find someone like the Lion here. He's going to need the rest of his team. Did he get spotted out here? No, he's just going for the blinks. The charge is going to come through. Yeah, we go. There's the blink call as well. They bring down 1. They're going to bring down another. The Chronosphere catching out that Morphling. He's just going to strength up for now. Dragon Knight in his ultimate form, trying to do what he can. There's the Void going down with the help of Slardar coming in. But look at this Axe rampant. And this is the power of Spirit Breaker. Just stun after stun after stun. The dunk finally comes through. Dominating streak for Axe. It's a 3 for 1. Faces Void did what he needed to do. It would have been nice if he didn't go down, I guess, but
I think he's been given the same role as last game to just create space.
That's the T2 going down with the help of the Serpent Wards. And what does Axe look for now?
I think he's got a wide wide choice of items that you could potentially go for. I think you probably want to go for the Blade Mail as your next major item. And then you can look into pretty much anything you want. BKB maybe, Ags. Shivas wouldn't be too bad. Got a lot of melee cores that are quite kiteable.
There's 3 Dire Heroes smoked up right next to the Axe. They want to try and bring him down. There is. He's quite close to his T1 tower, though. They're going to go for it. The Blink Away comes out just in time. The amp damage is there. They get the silence as well, but they're focusing up there. Okay, I think they're just giving up on this Axe. They're just going to try and cut him down, but they've stuck around quite a long time. The charge comes through. Not quite. The Hex onto the Spirit Breaker. This is a hero they can maybe try and bring down. Magnetize committed as well. Now the second Slitherine Crush. The Spirit Breaker does go down, but Axe gets out safe, and yeah, he's going to go for that Blade Mail.
Yeah, and they opted to try and gank the Axe before they had Finger up online, which I think was an error. I think the only way they killed him there was with their Finger.
It was very strange how they're sort of like dancing around him, like, do we go for it? Do we not go for it?
I think they made the plan that they wanted to gank Axe, and then as soon as they started actually hitting him, they realised they just couldn't.
Morphling is going to get charged up now. There is a Clinks. They know that Clinks is here, and with the rotation in from DK, maybe they don't think about it. Where's this Axe? Axe is slowly coming in. He's going to actually time it perfectly with a Spirit Breaker charge in. There's a bunch of TPs, though. Very defensive here. And they get the sentry down. They see the Clinks. Clinks get kicked up and fingered. He's brought down by the double call. Axe trying to find what he can. The spins are coming out. His mana being drained. There's the Nether Strike. Chronosphere catching 2. But Slardar, he's still alive. Does get shackled up there. But I think Shadow Shaman is going to be the second casualty for IM. Not very well executed there, or at least maybe a little overconfident, and CGC reading that situation very well, getting down the sentry ward, getting down that vision. They got the
yeah, and before that fight started, I thought this game was about to. I thought CGC were about to completely lose control on this game, but they've taken that fight and got 2 quite important kills. So holding out for a bit longer. You can see Axe has got the Blade Mail, so
a little bit of a dent into the game plan of IM.911, but. Yeah, Axe man. Already got 3 big items here. The next ones. I like, you know, when I first played Axe in the new patch with the Vanguard change to the Abyssal, I went Abyssal Blade next. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I would be very
cool.
salty about that if I had an Axe running at me, calling me, and then Abyssal Blade.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like a ridiculous amount of lockdown.
Through BKB.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is, if it really, you know, that's a pub, which is different, but
I don't think it's necessarily the worst. The thing is, I'm still not sure about the merits of Crimson Guard as an item. I don't know. Valve seemed to put it in the game, but never really paid attention to how good of an item it is, because it's never seen play really. There's never been a part of Dota since it's been in where it's been like, oh, we should get a Crimson Guard on our team because it's a really good item.
I saw it quite a lot in the PDL games.
I mean, it's a decent item. It's just, I don't know, it's quite expensive.
I agree. I think it is very situational. Maybe if you're playing against like a PL or someone with a team with lots of illusions and stuff, so the damage block can basically negate a huge amount of the damage that the enemy team has, but you normally see illusion heroes go for Diffusal Blade anyway, and that's one of the big sources of damage that they offer. But the Dire, they're ready to take down Roshan. Serpent Ward's committed, 18 minutes in, and yeah, finally Axe is going to join and tank up quite a lot of this. Radiant are going to use the scan. They see that the Morphling's there, but well, at least they don't know who's there. They just know a hero is there. And I think this is going to be the one to pick up the Aegis. I don't think Axe needs it. It's unlikely he's going to die.
Yeah, it seems quite unlikely that Axe dies.
Link's picking up the empty bottle, and with that Orchid complete and the DD, this T2 tower in the bottom lane is probably going to go a-crumbling.
Yeah, you would assume so. I don't think CGC can defend this tower. The CGC just really need to bring down this Axe. At some point they have to kill him, because he's just so tanky and creating so much space in these team fights that it's hard for them to do anything. Because you saw the fight at top where they picked off Clinks when Axe wasn't there, and it was quite an easy kill.
Oh, slow. I am. They're not gonna go for this actually. They're backing off. Maybe want to defend their mid tower. I see arrows being drawn. Don't know whose team that was.
Yeah, it's. I think they're telling the Morphling to push top, which is what he needs to be doing right now because they're going to lose bot tower, so they should, try and force a trade.
Even if it's not like the best, most favorable one, being from behind.
Yeah, they haven't got a single tower yet, so any tower is good at this point.
And yeah, the push is coming in. If not slowly from IM.911. This face is void. It's actually being spotted out sitting on top of a dire observer ward. There's no way. There's no way that CGC are going to defend this one. The question is, what's the next one? Do IM.911? Do they want? No, they're going to defend the top tower. I thought they might try and go high ground. Morphling. Oh, he's going to go for the call in the end. There's the blame out. The Morphling's got a way out if he needs it. Yep. Jumps himself away. Now the ping's coming out in this bottom lane. Maybe try and catch the Clinks, but Clinks is out of there. But, fairly standard stuff at the moment. Spirit Breaker, who's he charging on this? I don't think he's going to commit to this one. No, there we go.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't.
Suicidal Space Cow.
They're smoked up, actually, so it'll be interesting to see what they're looking to do from this, because IM are kind of grouped as 5, so I don't know what they can do with this smoke.
Can't really commit 5v5 at the moment. The Morphling just doesn't offer enough damage. He does finally have that Linken's finished up, and now Ghost Scepter as well. At least help him against some of the lockdown, but I guess there's a charge to cancel it if you really need to. That's an insta-cancel pretty much.
Yeah. I think at this point, I think CGC just need to split push with the Morph, try and drag IM around the map and only defend high ground. Because I don't think they have any hope of taking a fight outside the base unless it is, kind of like 5v1 pick-off situation.
Oh, look at the force staff blink from the axe, bringing this Slardar into the danger zone. The charge comes through, the dunk as well. They're focusing on the Dragon Knight as well. They put down the Serpent Wall, so that's doing Tal. The Chronosphere catches out the Morphling, just locking him down for now. Axe actually, he's going to go down here. They've managed to bring him down. That's a mega kill streak going the way of the DK here. And now with this Magnetize, it's doing a fair bit of damage over time. Maybe IM, they've stuck around just a little bit too long, and it's cost them an axe. And they don't even get this T3 tower. The Serpent was going to get mopped up by the Morphling and co.
Yeah, I mean they've held high ground, but it's you can see every single one of IM's heroes are on 20% health. If they had chose targets just a little bit better, I think they could have got more kills out of that. Because their damage was very spread out. But they've held racks, so still going. Which is what this Morphling needs, really. It just needs time. Because there does come a point in this game where Morphling just becomes an absolute nightmare to deal with.
Yeah. Might need a couple more items first. Do you think?
Yeah,
is he going to go straight into the E-Blade, or does he go Scardy now?
I think there's a couple of avenues he could take this down. I think it's worth considering a Manta now.
Yeah.
I think he could buy Manta, Scardy, Butterfly, or E-Blade, and they all be a decent item choice. I think he wants all 4 of those items, and it's
eventually.
It's just dependent what order he wants to get them in. Because it's quite easy for the IM to just pop his Lincolns and then Orchid him. So maybe the Manta's the choice he wants. Butterfly also seems quite good with the evasion against their team.
Force Clinks into an MKB. Or saying that, he could actually still just go for the...
the Bloodthorn.
So it's only 4 seconds, I think, of True Strike.
Yeah, I believe so. But the thing is, if Morph's, sitting on the amount of strength he's sitting on at the moment, if Clinks can Bloodthorn him, he just dies.
Yeah. The blink now on the Faceless Void. They break the links on the Morphling with the charge. I would imagine that's what it was. There's the silence plus these shackles. That's how you bring him. No, he's not brought out. He ticks down to the Soulburn.
Yeah, the Soulburn.
Yeah. Suddenly thought he'd survive there, but no. Not quite making it, unfortunately. Morphling does have buyback, but this could be go time now for IM once again. Go up onto this high ground. Hopefully a little bit more effectively than they did last time. They got
the Morph really won't want to buy back here. Because it will just, you know, it just sets him back so much. But I think he has to, really.
Oh, no, they get the stun. Oh, the call, it catches out two people. The crush onto the Clinks, though. He's pretty low here and doesn't have the Aegis this time around. He's focusing the Earth Spirit. He's going to pay potentially with his life. Yes, he does. There's going to be a buyback from the DK and the Lion. IM need to get themselves the hell out of here as Axe turned into a little fish. Magnetize still going. He's just going to run himself out of here now. As the Chronosphere comes in from the Faceless Void. They bring down the Slardar. I think he needs to get himself out of here, though. Although, get some two lucky bashes there, I think, onto that line. And they're going to continue chasing onto this DK. Buyback from the Slardar. Morphling's back up now as well. This is the time to retreat, but the crush, oh, he does catch the axe as he force-staffs himself out of there. And the Serpent's not going to be able to bring down this Earth Spirit. Oh, meager 50 HP there as Morphling looking for more, trying to bring down the axe, does finally do it, searching for this Faceless Void. The crush is going to finally come out. Faceless Void couldn't quite make it in this tree line. There's the Dragon Tail. And not the smooth escape that IM would have liked. They nearly made it out cleanly, but they did force 3 buybacks for 4 deaths. And actually, they come out on top on gold.
Yeah, the key thing is, though, is that Morphling didn't have to buy back. I think maybe if he bought back, they could have maybe not had to use the rest of their buybacks. But I mean, he's got away without using it, so his item progression's not that affected. And he got the axe kill, which is worth a lot. So you know, he's got his E-Blade coming to him, I believe. Yeah, that's E-Blade now. So. Yeah. So, you know, the Morphling's really decently farmed considering the game state at the moment.
Yeah, only 2k behind that Clinks, who has a Midas and has got more kills. Wow, has he got more kills? Yeah, he does. And he's going to go straight in for that Bloodthorn now. Axe split, forced off Blink, catches out that Morphling. They break the Lincolns once again, but the double crush coming from the Slardar. Has it bought time for the Morphling? There's the Shackles, very long range, helped out by the Ether Lens. But look at this Morph strength. He's getting pretty tanky here. The cool follow-up as well. I'm still not sure he's going to survive. The last Ether shot comes through. They get that kill. They're searching for more, but the TP out from Slardar should just be able to make it. Yeah, they had vision on him from the Spirit Breaker, actually, there.
Their stun layering there was really, really good from IM, actually. They pretty much perfectly layered all their stuns to provide. I mean, they had probably 10+ seconds of lockdown on the Morph there. Yeah. Really well played from them.
What you need, and Morphling this time doesn't have buyback after buying the E-Blade. These barracks are exposed, and we got to remember, if IM win another team fight, there's no buybacks to fall on for CGC, and that will be at least 1 set of racks, if not more.
I think they take racks here, to be honest, because I don't. Morph has no buyback, and I don't see how CGC defend without him. Especially against his Rastal. Well.
Yeah. Smoke up on the backline as well. Looking for a point of entry with that Faceless Void, maybe, to try and catch out multiple heroes. Yeah, there's the barracks going to go down. Oh, now the call, the 4-staff away from the axe, trying to drag the Slardar towards these Serpent Wards, but he's just going to blink himself out. Just trying to create a little bit of space, a little bit of noise to secure this Rex, and yeah, with the Morphling back up, they get themselves out of there. A lot safer and I'd say a lot smarter this time around.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot more calculated pushes coming out this game. We've seen in both of the other games, both teams have gone for high ground and got a bit overzealous with the push, really, and it ended up, you know, hurting them a bit. But CGC are going to have to be very careful with the pushes now, because it's something you always have to consider when you're playing against a Rasta is where you take team fights when they're pushing high ground. Because a lot of the time, if you let them go high ground, and put the wards down, even if you win the team fight, you lose racks because you focus their heroes, you kill their heroes, but the wards just take racks. So you generally want to initiate on them outside of base before they get the chance to use them.
And there's going to be the dust, but it doesn't spot anything. The silence to kick onto the Spirit Breaker. The follow-up with the Slardar. Boy, they just blow him up there with the E-Blade. Now the Chrono catching out the DK and the Slardar. Look at this Clink starting to do some work. The call, it catches out 2. Very beautiful there. Dunk on 1. Then looking for more maybe, but look at this Clinks. He's not very tanky here. He doesn't have that Death Pact up and running, but still he gets himself out of there. There's 3 kills now. Just for the 1. They're looking for the Earth Spirit. They need some sort of stun. They get the call. It's just on the edge there with the Hex. The Shackles. It's 4 dead. Just the Morphling making it out alive. Was that a first hit bash, was it?
Yeah, the first hit bash for extra salt.
Yeah. Yeah, this Clinks, yeah, he actually didn't have a death packed up, so he was actually very squishy against the Morphling. Just about makes it out. So he's going to look to eat up a creep in the next 5 seconds.
They lost the gem in that exchange as well. Spirit purchased up a gem just before that fight.
Oh, it's now on the Shaman.
That's now been handed over to the Rasta.
Painful. Axe did go for the Crimson in the end.
Yeah, I think his thought process on that is we're going to end the game in the next 5 minutes, and I'll just I'll buy an item that just tanks me up a little bit, because why not?
Wait, do creeps get the buff?
I don't believe so.
I'm sure it says.
Grant nearby allied heroes. Yeah, so
it might be a little bit strong to tank up all your creeps, because maybe it would help with the push as well. But...
that would make the item viable without a doubt.
That's an interesting one. One for the Reddit.
But then I don't know if it'd be too strong. Well, I guess you can still just burst creeps down with magic nuke anyway. So.
Okay. One set of racks down. That's something the CGC can deal with. Most
yeah, definitely.
Most teams at the 30-minute mark can deal with one set of racks down. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate. It's annoying, but.
I think in like 90% of Dota games, one Rex doesn't change the game that much. I mean, it obviously makes it harder for you, but it doesn't make the game that unwinnable, really. It's as soon as you lose 2 racks, the game gets really difficult.
And this Void actually has, for the first time in this in the 3rd game in this series, he's actually got some decent farm here with the Blink, Vlads, and a BKB at the half-hour mark.
Yeah, I mean, he's done it. He's kind of filled out his role in the last 2 games, but it's just resulted in him kind of being sacked a bit. But yeah, this game, he's got the BKB now and the Blink, so yeah, he can jump in and chrono BKB and just make space, really. But hopefully with the BKB, he won't die now.
Oh, there's the Morphling maybe got a little bit too aggressive here. The crush comes out, keeping Morphling alive. There's the chrono, catching out 3 heroes. Beautiful there. Spirit Breaker did charge on forward, doesn't matter. Now Dragon Knight taking extra damage thanks to the True Strike with the silence of that Bloodthorn. Serpent Walls get put up on the high ground. There's 2 dead, none either without buyback. Earth Spirit, he's going to be the next one falling as well. The Thing comes out from long range onto the Axis. He's actually trapped inside his own Serpent Wards. That is finally gets the Blink out. They get the 4th kill. Buyback from the Morphling. It's going to be a 2v5 here, but man, I don't know if CGC can do this here. They've lost the 2nd Rex. The 3rd one will be falling imminently.
I think that was just a really big misplay from the Morphling, to be honest. He was waveforming to clear out a creep wave.
I think that's what they were waiting for with the smoke. And yeah, GG comes out. IM.911 are going to be your Gary Kimmelman Cup finalist winners. And after losing the first game fairly, I don't know, they definitely just got outdrafted.
Yeah, the first game was, I mean, they tried the kind of drow lineup to see how it went, and it obviously didn't work for them. I think it was just that Clinks. I think the Clinks was, their strat. In game 2, he pretty much single-handedly won the game, and then in game 3, he got ridiculously farmed while his Axe made space for him. But yeah, nice to see them come back from, lose the first game and then come back and get the 2-1. It's really well played for them.
I really like that Axe matchup against the DK, actually. It was
unexpected. There's a couple of heroes in the game that you can that just win lanes, but it's whether they contribute enough to the mid game to warrant picking them, and I think Axe is like that. Against any melee mid, he kind of crushes them, really.
Yep.
But luckily in this game, he got those early kills, he got a lot of farm early, and then he just kind of was far enough ahead to completely snowball them.
Awesome. So yeah, this has been a little bit of a window into the Vietnamese Dota scene. As we can see, it's some pretty high-level Dota. Very enjoyable to watch and cast. Of course, thank you, Big Tits, for joining me.
That's quite alright. Thanks for having me.
Right, you can follow him over on Twitter at Big Tits McGee, with the big being a 1, the I and the big being a 1. There we go.
Yeah.
You can also follow me on Twitch and Twitter at Zambrello101. But yeah, do check out. This was held at the I completely forgot what I called it now. The PlayDota
Arena, isn't it?
Yeah, PlayDota Arena in Vietnam. It looks really cool. You can check it if you go to playdota.vn. They've got some pics up, and it actually looks really cool. So, but yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Maybe a little screenshot into that Vietnamese scene, like I said. But we'll be calling it here for now. I think most Dota is kind of on the down low until the weekend, when there's going to be some, obviously, the Manila majors.
The best Dota. I think this major is going to be pretty great, to be honest.
Have you seen the groups?
Yeah, it's EG have kind of got a free ticket. I think.
Maybe.
I think the thing about this this major that's going to be good is the quality of Dota is very equal at the moment. I don't think there's any one team that's better than everyone else. I also don't think. Yeah, I don't think any of the teams that you typically see in the bottom four, even they're good teams this time.
Yeah, it's just like you look at one group and you're like, "Ooh, that," you don't go like that team is a clear winner.
I think the only one that I've looked at and it's obvious who's going to win, I think, is the Liquid group. And I think Liquid will win it, but there's a chance that maybe VGR come back. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good major. I'm really excited to watch Wings play, because everyone was talking about how good Newbie were or are, but Wings completely destroyed them like 3 times the other day.
Yeah, and they won the was it Epicenter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Epicenter and Newbie were doing really well, yeah. But then I can't remember what tournament it was. Maybe it was I think it was in Nanyang qualifiers. Wings 3-0'd Newbie.
Oh yeah, that absolutely rolled them.
Yeah, they're doing that thing that MVP Phoenix do, where they just pick like weird early game lineups and just run at you non-stop and completely flower you.
Awesome. So yeah, plenty of Dota to enjoy in the future, but for now, the end is here for this stream. I hope you guys have had fun, and I'll catch you guys in the future.